take up this little mini assessment. So we just want to, for these first 4 graphs, find out what, or is it a constant rate of change? That's kind of the goal. So let's just go graph by graph. So if we're looking at the rate of change, we're looking at how is the graph changing. So how is like the y value, how are we going upwards as we go from left to right? And we just want to know, is that the same for the entire graph? And in this first one, well, it's always going up, let's say by the same amount. It's stepping, in a sense, by the same amount. So that is constant. In comparison, though, if you take a look at this graph, for the first, let's say, couple of x values, it goes down by just a little. Whereas if you look way towards the end, as you go a couple of x values, it goes down a lot. So it's stepping down a whole lot more, so that would be not constant. It's not the same rate for the whole graph. The next one, I mean, it's just all over the place. It's going up, it's going down, going up, going up, down. It's like a wave. It's the wave graph. So yeah, definitely not constant there. And lastly, as you take a look at this last one, as you go to the right, it goes down by some amount, goes down by the same amount, so on and so forth. It's just a straight line. So a straight line always actually has a constant rate of change. And that's something we're going to look at in the future. All right, next. Now we want to specifically look at the rate of change. Not only do we want to identify if it's constant, but if it's not, is it increasing or decreasing? So as I said, a straight line is always constant. So we've got that first one nice and easy. It's the same graph as the one up above pretty much. Let's even skip to C. That's another straight line, so that's constant. But now let's take a look at B and D. So in B, if we take a look at the initial part of the graph, there, as you go from left to right, it goes up just a tiny little bit. But as you go to the end, as you go from left to right, it's going up a whole lot. So the rate of change went from a small amount, so small there, to large. And if you're going from smaller to bigger, well, you must be increasing. And the last part, D, again, we're just going to go from the starting part. As you can see, as you go from left to right, ooh, it jumps up a whole lot. But then as you go towards the end, as you go from left to right, it's barely increasing. So large jump, very small. So if something's starting really big and becoming smaller, well, then that rate of change is decreasing. All right, that's everything.